Marin Promise focuses on what I would call gap analysis. It's what's missing and which populations are not being served to the degree that they should, and what do we do about it?
When I started in 2019, I met with Marin Promise, and they told me about the work that they have done over the years. And starting off, they helped guide me by creating spreadsheets of our students who were low income, first generation, to get a starting base as to where I needed to start working with students and how I can help them best. Without that data, I would attempt to keep track on my own, but it would be extremely difficult for me to do it.
The FAFSA was the hardest for me, but having resources helped me a lot because I knew that if I ever needed something that I could go and get the support I needed.
I care because I was once a low-income first-generation student, and I'm just giving back to my community.
At Tam High School, we take kids when they come to us, however they come to us, and if they have gaps, if they have things that we need to take a look at to kind of rebuild, we take that on as our responsibility. Marin Promise Partnership has actually been deeply involved at Tam for years now. And what we saw really about 2017 was the need for a tighter partnership with Marin Promise to really take a look at how we develop specific programs and connect kids to programs to make them college ready. Success Network is actually completely dependent on data. And the data that we look at is a cross-section of our students who we've identified are the ones that we think would need the most support. And from that data and those data studies is where we really dissect and then diagnose and then identify what are the programs, what are the attributes, what are the supports that we need to build within our system to better serve those kids. And the way we do that is then by studying the data over time. It was through the success of what the network had really built here at TAM that then made us look from a district perspective, how do we hire somebody from our own staff to begin working with the coaching, instruction, and oversight from Marin Promise. So that's where we kind of now have this built-in coach model with Marin Promise to make our Success Network run.
In the very beginning of the pandemic, we knew that the civic infrastructure would be challenged as never before.
Having Success Network in place during COVID, what it allowed is kind of that pause in the zaniness of where are we in the universe to sit and come together and actually say, how are the kids doing? And what data points do we have? The data looked very different during COVID. Since then, we actually started seeing the data improving as far as our college eligibility, and that's super exciting, and that will give us the data we need to keep building and questioning and working within our Success Network to see what else we can do to keep supporting kids down the road.
During COVID, I tried my best with the help of the spreadsheets that Marin Promise gave me to keep track of students, reach out to them virtually, and I was able to maintain a high percent completion rate of financial aid. Because that was already in place when I started, it was really easy for me to just have that be my norm and maintain track of that information.
The reason the college and career initiatives succeeded to the extent they did during COVID is because of the discipline and the muscle that had been built in the years prior.
It's a very comforting feeling knowing like, oh, I can do this and there are people who are rooting for me.